Hello, people. Welcome along to Hurst Comedy Festival live. Hooray! Hooray, front audience. Hello, audience. Hooray! We're cheering away. We've got applause. We've got kind of people in our front row who you can join. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, you are more than welcome to join in. There should be a link somewhere in the description. If not, then put a couple of comments saying, how do I do this? And you can join us and you can be in our front row audience. We've got a fabulous show ahead of us this evening, beaming directly into your living room. And if you've been driving around the Hurstpierpoint Point area, you would have seen that. You would have seen a little banner. We're saying live, and then it says in your living room, stuck over the top of the name of the venues we'd normally be in. So thank you very much for joining us. Like I said, great show ahead of us this evening. I'm very excited about this, and it's been well ran. We've got like pro people making this all happen, and I'm going to get a chance to say to some of the audience, hello to some of the audience. And since the show has started, you've been playing around with different backdrops before realizing that your shirt is the same color as your backdrop. So this is not, oh right, okay, Superman shirt. Look at that. Hello there, Ant. At first I thought that was actually digitally changed, but no, it's not. This is genuinely you. So hello. Who's that in the background, Ant?
Sally's not quite joined yet. She's
not quite joined yet. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So nice to have you, Ant. Where are you kind of joining us from?
Roughly College Lane.
Roughly College Lane. For those of you who are joining across the internet, what with the internet being having a global reach, College Lane is a road in Hurstpierpoint that is both beautiful and too narrow for two cars to pass them each other simultaneously.
I'm not at the narrow bit.
You're not at the narrow bit. I'm so sorry to hear that, Anne. Oh, never mind.
My car,
had you have done better in life, never mind.
My car is in one piece. It's not had the wing mirrors knocked off 57 times.
No, exactly. That's the whole point. Because the thing is, it's also a cut through for people taking their children to the private school at the end of the road. Hence, it being College Lane, Hurstpierpoint College. So anyone who parks on that road has normally anything that's basically attached to the side of the car ripped off by a Range Rover at high speed, just in case Tarquin is 3 minutes late to croquet. So Ant, thank you very much for joining us from College Lane there as well. And who is going to be joining you that hasn't quite joined you yet?
Sally's lurking in the background.
Sally lurking. Well, we'll see Sally in a moment then, Ant. And what do you do then, Ant?
Absolutely nothing at the moment because the world of mass participation sports is not happening.
So are you a sports person then, Ant? Do you want to tell us what you do? Because realistically, I look over-surprised at that point.
We run a photography business for runners and half marathon and cyclists who do Velo Birmingham and things like that.
Oh, right. So you take pictures of people and then you use the number that they're legally obliged to attach to their bike to contact them to tell you, I've got some phenomenal pictures of you. And they log in when they get home and they see them having a heart attack halfway up a hill and think, absolutely, £35 well spent. Is that it?
No, we get the event organisers to pay for it, and we give them to you for free.
Oh, right. I see.
And not only that, I get them live during the event. So by the time you finish the event, you go, why have I got so many people writing abusive comments about my cycling efforts?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. And well, there you go then. I've learned, which is great. And then I'm going to go to Chris as well. Chris looks like he or she is in living room, because if I find Chris right now, where's Chris? Has Chris disappeared? I know I can't see Chris right now. David, where's Chris gone? Chris there? Hang on. Chris. Oh, I can see Chris now. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Now, there's only one name and there's two people. So which one of you is Chris? Because it could be a female Chris. That's Chris. Hello there, Chris. Chris, we're in 2020 right now. It's the 21st century. We're a fifth of the way into it. The woman is allowed to exist as well. Why doesn't she have a name on the Zoom call? I feel this is disgusting behavior. What's going on? Who is that next to you, Chris? Sorry?
I don't know how to work Zoom.
Don't know how to work Zoom. You, sister, you go out there and you learn Zoom. You don't let the primogeniture of Zoom hold you back. You kind of embrace Zoom like every strong woman out there, and you Zoom like the best of them, love. You shouldn't have to do that. Chris, thank you very much for joining us. Is this your front room? Is it?
Yeah, our living room. Yeah.
Your living room, excellent. And is that a mirror as well behind you? Right, I was going to say, because I always wonder when people have a huge mirror in their living room as opposed to a painting, it means either one of two things. It either means that whenever they look at something, they've never found anything quite as pretty as themselves, in which case, Chris and Amanda, amazing self-belief, or it's such a small room that the mirror gives the illusion of it being bigger and you don't feel ever so slightly like you should have bought somewhere slightly further down College Lane. So, what's the situation, Chris? Is that a mirror for your own aesthetics?
It's both.
It's both, isn't it? Right, it gives you the sense of a bigger place. Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. Where are you right now then?
Hurstpierpoint as well.
Okay, fabulous.
We're on Wickham Hill.
On Wickham Hill. My God, this is incredible. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I can only assume the people who are doing particularly well in the village are the ones who can afford broadband. So it's great to see that you're with us live. What do you do then, Chris?
I'm a planning consultant.
A planning consultant. Oh, right. Okay, fabulous. And that means that you tell other people how to tell other people what to do with their house.
Or developing land or building schools or other things like that. Yeah.
So I really love people who deal with builders but never clearly do any building of their own. No offense, but the quality of your skin. Look at those hands. Those hands, the only thing they've ever lifted is an invoice. Chris, it's impressive to see. And maybe your fist goes down when it hasn't been paid within the regimented 7 days. I'm not sure. And then Amanda, what do you do?
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah. Was it Hannah? Not Amanda. It was Hannah. I do apologise. I could barely hear you because obviously Chris doesn't normally let you speak, I imagine. So you don't have the opportunity to be able to project your voice. So what does Chris let you out, Hannah, something like that? Maybe lets you have a little bit of sunshine on a sunny day if you've made a particularly good dinner. What's the situation? Are you allowed out?
I'm a town planner too.
You're a town planner. Oh, you're a town planner. He's a planning consultant. Oh, I see how this works. They pay Chris in order for Chris to give advice so that Hannah allows the planning permission to go through. That's an excellent business. Look at that then. Look at the two of you right now, literally. So every time we drive past in the middle of the village, something that's just sheet grey concrete covered in steel and glass, we think, how do I get planning permission? The answer is Chris and Hannah, and they're having a wonderful holiday in Barbados, and thanks very much for your consultancy invoice. No, it's good to have you here. And so is that how you met, through the world of planning then?
Met at university.
Oh wow! Are you you're university sweethearts? Oh, that's brilliant. Because I don't know if that's going to happen again in the future. Because thanks to distancing, people going to university right now aren't going to be able to basically form the levels of kind of constant interaction. So you might be a thing of history. Which university did you go to anyway? Portsmouth. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Well, never mind. Anyway, I imagine they aim to be a red brick university, but I imagine there've been a few red bricks thrown through the windows of their media lab at some point. So, but anyway, thanks very much for joining us. Like I said, great show, and great to have a front row as well. I'm looking around the other people right now. David is in the corner. Not David, who was our tech, our super tech. David with a blood red background. At first, I thought that must be a backdrop. Nobody would choose that color of wall unless they had some kind of like I don't know, they were planning some sort of murder or something. But no, is this genuinely the color of your home then, David?
It's literally the color. Yeah, this is what it is. I'm afraid.
Is it red in every wall? Is that a feature wall? That's the question I should be asking.
I believe it is called a feature wall. Yes. Yeah.
So if you were to pan the camera left and right, would we see different color walls?
Not very different. You'd see grey.
Grey. Right. Okay. No, that's an acceptable color.
I mean, I would call it classy, but some would call it dull.
No. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with grey. With a red feature wall, this is looking pretty good. What do you do, David?
I run community magazines, including Hurst Life magazine.
Oh, Hurst Life. Is that the one that's on the high street on the corner near the takeaway, the Indian takeaway? No. In that case, parochial knowledge gone to pieces. Never mind. Hurst Life is. I think that I'm in Hassocks. You see, I apologise for not being.
Well, we've got Hassocks Life for Hassocks. That's fine.
We have a Hassocks Life as well, because yours are colour. You see, because we have another one which is black and white. You see, so yours is a bit too advanced for us.
Yeah.
When we see that, we're never 100% sure that that we deserve something that impressive. And David, are you still bringing out Hurst Life during the lockdown?
Yeah, we had a couple of months off, but we're all back. So yeah, there's still plenty to talk about, which is great.
Are you going to review this show? Have I got to up the game slightly because this?
I probably should, seeing as I'm sat here. I mean, it's perfect. Yeah.
You can write off. I don't know, the wear and tear to your sofa as part of an allowable business expense.
There must be something, mustn't there? Yeah. Is there an accountant on here? We could probably get some advice.
I'm sure there's probably an accountant somewhere on here. I'll have a look around right now, and then I can see Gemma. Gemma Medhurst looks particularly male right now, to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure. Is that Gemma? That definitely doesn't look like a Gemma. I'm going to say, who is that then? Who's that?
It's Chris.
It's another Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Chris overload. We've got two. We've got Chris on the show as well, which makes 3 Chris's. That's a lot of Chris's. You slightly move the camera now so we can see a little bit of your stainless steel fridge. Excellent stuff. That's good to see.
Enjoy.
And your fridge magnets are organised into a cross. Does that mean that we have to be particularly sort of pro-religious tonight, and then we can't say anything offensive?
It's only for aesthetics and just sort of OCD, I think, levels, and nothing religious here.
There's nothing wrong about having a symmetrical fridge magnet arrangement. Chris, what do you do, Chris?
I'm a postman.
Hooray! Well done for getting here for the beginning of the show. Congratulations. There you go. I thought you were going to be late, but actually, to be fair, actually, you weren't here at the beginning, so you didn't actually get here for 8, did you?
We were here, but just in the background.
That's fine. Were you worried there might be a dog online or something like that, and you just checking to make sure it wasn't too dangerous?
I'm fine with dogs, thank you. But yeah.
Oh, good, excellent. Wait, what's your area? What's your postal area?
I deliver in Hurst Point, Hassocks Road and Alborn Road and around there, Brighton Road.
So you're literally the local postman?
Around, yeah, at the moment, yeah, I am, yeah.
Oh, wait, when you say at the moment, do they keep changing your shifts? Are you sometimes in different places?
Yeah, I mean, I've delivered Ditchling before and Goddard's Green. I've delivered around. So
Goddard's Green and Ditchling. My word, you've travelled. I mean, that's the whole thing, isn't it, Chris? I mean, you're practically gone into a different postal area. Oh no, they're both BN6 as well, aren't they?
They're all BN6, same office.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, let's do this evenly. You know, maybe one day someone will save up. They'll organise a ticket for you to go and visit. I don't know, Henfield or something, and it'll be like, oh, BN5, and you'll be getting nosebleed. It'll be difficult.
I don't want to change offices. I'm quite happy in BN6.
Okay, fair enough. All right, okay, fine. Let's just keep it local. I'm just don't want to surprise you. Don't want to confuse you. It'll be too upsetting for you. Right. Well, look, I've said hello to some of the people. If you are watching right now on YouTube and you think, oh, I definitely want to get involved, it's great for us because we get to see people while we're doing this show. And then when you guys laugh, or we assume you laugh, then we have an opportunity for us to think, oh, you know, this is going brilliantly and it really helps the show. So if you do want to do that, I think I'm looking at the YouTube window right now as well. I click on show more at the bottom. It says join us on Zoom. So if you are watching right now on YouTube, press the join more button and it shows you how to do that. Do that, click on that, follow the instructions, and then you can be in our live audience. Okay, right. So without any further ado, I'm going to push on and bring on our first act. Just looking to see who. No, I kind of remember. I think it's Maff up first, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, I'm having a quick look to see who we got. Yes, it is. Excellent, ladies and gentlemen. So for the people who are in the Zoom, you are very important, so we can hear your laughter, we can see your laughs as well as your applause. Please, can we welcome to the virtual stage the absolutely fabulous Maff Brown.
Oh, yes. Hello, there we are. You people. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, my name's Maff. Say hello, Maff.
Hello, Maff. Hello. Can you hear
Thanks,
me?
gang. A little bit about me. I'm 42. I'm now mortgage free because I'm still renting. Living in London for you, it's great. And I love getting in Hurst People. It's absolutely a great place to do it. You're normally a very comedy savvy bunch, right? And I'll tell you how I know that. Last time I was gigging there, I was comparing in a room with actual people. And I spoke to someone in the front row, said, hello, mate, what do you do for a living? And someone at the back shouted, I'm a ventriloquist. How fucking brilliant is that? That's comedy savvy people for you as well. And, you know, what, we're 6 months into this bloody... Whatever it is, you'd have thought Captain Tom would have come up with a vaccine by now, wouldn't you? Who was saying that? Fucking lazy bastards, you know? He's still doing a lap of honour. Come on, Captain Tom. Oh, God, when that happened, I was so proud of him, though. I really was. And I put one tweet on, right? And all I just said was, Captain Tom is going to get so much pussy after this. Oh, that upset the people of Twitter. I got banned for 7 days for that. Why the fuck would you get banned for 7 days for that? But it's been an interesting time, and everyone's tried to help each other out and do what they can. And you know, there's still people still arguing about wearing masks. I don't get it. You know, I know one bloke, I asked a friend of mine, I said, "Why don't you wear it?" So they don't fit me. What do you mean they don't fit you? They don't come in size. It doesn't go medium, large. Rob Beckett, Shergar, Stacey Solomon. They're all one size. Just get on with it. Stop making an excuse and stop killing people. And when there was, you know, when everyone had that sort of spirit of, oh, let's help each other out, you know, that sort of spirit. Everybody was doing what they could. And my girlfriend actually started making masks out of bras, which were very effective. And they were really good. And I sort of said to her, I think you should use all your bras and donate them all to the NHS. That'd be a great thing. And she thought I was being caring, when the truth of the matter was, I just wanted to see her walk around the house tits commando. So... It's being selfish, really. That's all I was. And you know, you find out things about yourself as well you didn't know, didn't you? I found out, I didn't know this. I didn't know that I loved gambling on live sports so much. I didn't realise I relied on it so much. And the reason I worked that one out, I'll tell you what, I was watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I tried to put a tenner on Augustus Gloop. That's when you know you're having a bit of a problem with it. You know, what else did I learn? I learned how to do a Windsor knot, and by that I mean I gave Prince Harry a vasectomy. That's my favourite joke. I've done that in front of 3 audiences now that are actually live. It's never worked, but I'm keeping it in. I bloody love it. I think it's really fun. And the first gig back that we did was brilliant. We do it because I run some comedy gigs as well in another part of the world in London sort of area. And we had about 80 people in a packed beer garden. It was the first outdoor gig. It was the first week we were allowed to do things, and everyone was really up for it. The crowd was sort of hysteric. It was amazing. And I sort of made the mistake as well by saying, does anybody work for the NHS? You know, and it choked me up a little bit. And a woman put her hand up, and instantly, without any prompt from me, the whole of the audience just started clapping and cheering, and so a few people were standing up, you know, until I then sort of went, hang on a minute, let's find out what she does for the NHS first. Turns out she was the parking warden for the car parks at the hospital. That love soon went out of the air very quickly, turned to booze incredibly quickly. So yeah, be careful because I mean, the NHS have been phenomenal. We all know that, you know, they are heroes. But in my mind, I personally think the real heroes are the people that are collecting recycling, because they're fucking taking a battering. They were taking it. One bloke tried to come and collect mine and called for backup. That's how fucking bad it was. Right? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one. There was days where I started drinking at 8 a.m. Why the fuck not? You had nothing else to do. But it's odd. I've now scaled it back because I actually stopped drinking for about 3 years. And basically, I love it so much. It's not a problem, but I just love it so much. But I scaled it back. And now if I do drink, I only drink on special occasions, you know, like people's birthdays, on Facebook. But the hangovers, this is a problem, see? Like I say, you get over your 40s, the hangovers get worse and worse. I had a hangover 2 weekends ago. I got out of bed, I went downstairs, I sat on the sofa, and I went to put the seatbelt on. What the fuck is that about? How did that start happening to this sort of... How does your mind just start doing things like that? But yeah, but the thing as well, that I like the hungover food. I really love the hungover food. It's great fun. And normally, again, I'll ask the audience, what's your go-to hungover food? And you get the normal answers, you know, fry up and burgers and pizzas and kebabs and stuff like that. I was gigging in a place called Top Secret in London, and it's quite a woke crowd, quite a young sort of woke generational crowd. And I said to this bloke in the front row again, what's your go-to hungover food? And he said fruit smoothie, and the audience booed him. They were really angry with him. It's just a smoothie, mate, for fuck's sake. But I miss the random drink. That's the one I miss. You know, when you're out and about and you just run into someone in town, you know, that's one of my favourites. And that happened in, I think it was about February time. I hadn't seen this guy for about 10 years. We used to play football together every week. And we were running into each other. We went and had a drink, and we got really pissed, actually. We had really good fun. And he was in a really good mood. Like the whole afternoon, he was in a really good mood. And I actually said to him, how come you're so happy? He said, well, actually, 4 days ago, me and my wife had our first baby. I was like, oh, mate, that's amazing. That's great news. What have you called it? And he said, we haven't got a name for it yet. We're just calling it the baby. Perhaps not the best idea, mate, because your surname is Fiddler. True story. That is a true story. It is a true story. But it's interesting, though, again, because I talk to my brother a lot. My brother lives in Perth in Australia, and I was told he's 2 years older than me. And I don't know about you, I always used to go to my brother for advice. You know, I remember once very vividly, I was 12 years old and I started getting wet dreams and I didn't know what they were. And I went and asked my brother, and he said to me, oh, don't worry about that. That's just when you've been wanked off by a ghost. And that still scares me to this day, if I'm being honest. It really does. But we were talking about things. Because you're wise, you're supposed to be wiser in your 40s, aren't you? I don't know if you ever are. I think I've got Arrested Development, haven't they? I've got past 19. But if you could, we were saying hypothetically, if you could go back in time and talk to your own 16-year-old self, you know, what advice would you give yourself? Let me bring someone in. David, can I ask you that question? If you could go back in time and talk to your 16-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Well, I'm not sure what I've learned. I'm not sure what I've learned.
This is the thing, yeah, exactly. This is the thing. I'll put you on the spot there, and I apologise, but thanks for trying to have a think of something. And it's better than most answers I get as well, to be honest with you. Honestly, once I was gigging in Southend, I said to the bloke, you know, what advice would you give yourself? And he said, probably not commit murder again. So, you know, you've got to be careful of the answers you're going to get. You really have. But I thought about it and I wrote down a list, which is why I got a pen. I wrote down, if I could go back in time and speak to my 16-year-old self, this is the advice I'd give myself. Number one, you know, you were gutted you didn't get on Jim Will Fix It. Bullet dodge, mate. Don't worry about that. Number two, you're 16 at the moment, soon you'll get a new girlfriend called Donna. And during sex, you will shout out the wrong name. Right? Now, try not to, because when I shouted Stuart, it did lead to a lot of questions. All right, so be careful with that one. Number three, this won't make any sense to you because it's 1990 and you're 16, but when you get the chance, heavily invest in avocados. Just a bit of good advice. Be funny today. And the fourth one, when you're 29 years old in a bar in Singapore, trust your first judgment. It was a man after all. Be careful. Well, I'm looking forward to getting out. I'm looking forward to going away. I'm looking forward to gigging away. I love gigging overseas. I went to go to Germany to go and do some comedy gigs, which, by the way, doesn't work. They don't really like laughing, Germans. Staring, fucking brilliant at staring, world class stares, the old Germans. And I always fly. This is true. Whenever I fly, my first company that I go to is British Airways because my nan used to work for British Airways. You know, I lost my nan about 2 years ago now because Sainsbury's is big, isn't it? And you know, and I love my nan. I used to love my nan. I used to go around to my nan's, right, and we played Guess Who. You know, not the board game. She had dementia, but it was good fun. And that's true. I flew on British Airways to Munich to go and do some comedy gigs. Me and another comedian called Lucy Porter, who's absolutely brilliant. I'm sure you'll know her if you're comedy fans. If not, look her up on YouTube or wherever. Lucy Porter's brilliant. I won't lie to you, I quite fancy her a bit. And we were on the plane as well. We were waiting for the plane to fill up. And the staff, there was two staff, they weren't helping anyone. They were just talking to each other. They weren't getting on. They weren't assisting or doing their job. And this woman got on, right, with a baby on one arm, a bag over her shoulder, a suitcase, trolley and stuff. She couldn't cope with it. So I stood up, went, excuse me, do you want some help? She went, oh, thanks very much, yeah. And she handed me the baby. And for a joke, I went, parents get very angry very quickly, don't they? Very careful. Like to diffuse the situation. So I've actually got a baby myself. So, oh yeah, where's yours? So I checked mine in. Made it worse if anything, but you know, what you dickhead for a living, what do you expect? Right, I finished with my bit. I'll tell you about my nephew. I love him so dearly. He's 16 years old actually now, and he's got curly hair. We're all, well, you know, it's a bit short at the moment. All the lads in our family all got curly hair because we were all brought up on a very strict diet of just crusts, so it just happens. And my nephew has got a proper big old afro, right? Proper, and it's ginger. Poor little fucker, right? Wait, they called him Leslie. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, he said to me about February, January time, you know, he said to me, Uncle Maff, I want to get my hair cut off. And I said, mate, you can't do that. You can't do that because curls get the girls. Because that's true. When I had long curly hair, girls would always want to come up and touch it. It was always an icebreaker. You know, I would always fuck it up by saying, have you got any football stickers? You know. Yeah, especially World Cup years, you know, swaps, you know, you can't take any missed opportunities. He said to me, mate, you can't do that. Girls get the girls. And he said to me, but Uncle Maff, I like boys. And quick as a flash, without panicking, I went, locks get the cocks. You know, we had a right old laugh about it. And he was worried about telling me. He was worried about telling me this information, right? Because he said to me, he told me that his RE teacher had told him he was going to go to hell. How fucking bad is that? And I said to him, mate, don't worry about that. Even if you do go to hell, even if all the gays go to hell, think how good the nightlife will be. It'd be fucking brilliant. Right? Ironically, in hell, they'd have a nightclub called Heaven. That would piss them off. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I really enjoyed doing these Zoom gigs. You know, and good luck with the rest of the festival. And I'll hand you back to Stephen Grant. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hey, hang on a second. Yay! There we go. The moment there when I pushed start video, nothing happened, and I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. So thank you very much, Maff. There you go. Maff is a great comic, and he also hosts a load of shows in Southwest London and called Outside the Box. So if you're ever in that neck of the woods, do pop along and see Maff. And he's been running gigs in gardens like the rest of us, which has been, well, it's been a challenge for those of you who've gone to an outdoor gig. They've been okay, really, because the weather's been mostly nice, and also our coronavirus isn't quite so bad. In the north of England, it's been tricky because they've had to cancel a lot of their stuff because of the curfew and the lockdowns. But to be fair, that's kind of sort of saved them in many ways, because being outdoors in the north, it's not only cold, is it? You're quite likely to be murdered on the way home. Anyway, that's a joke, obviously. You're quite likely to murder somebody on the way home. If you've gone out, you've clearly got an objective. Anyway, so we are, look at that, we're up and running, aren't we? I'm using the time there to watch Maff. I was also looking at the Hurst Hub site on Facebook to see what's been going on in the local area, to see if there's anything I could share with you all. But it is mostly just people complaining about dog poo. So I don't know. I think the price of dog poo's gone down recently, and people are upset because it's affected house prices and stuff like that. Right. Okay. So we're off. Let's have a quick look, actually, who we've got audience-wise. Anybody's ever joined us as well? Lucy Bennett has joined us. Lucy, hello there, Lucy. You're still muted at the moment, aren't you? So, oh no, there you go. I can talk to you now. That's fabulous. How are you, Lucy? You all right?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. I've got a bit of background noise going on, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, where you are right now, is that the case? Okay, well, look, you say a bit of background noise. I'm not entirely sure if you mean where you are or those curtains, because holy mama, you could put that camera anywhere in the house and you pick there. I can only imagine how the rest of your house is decorated, unless you've got literally sort of like, I don't know, some sort of abattoir thing going on elsewhere, and that is both busy and bright. Somewhere there is an Indian restaurant going, they'll just have to look out the window. I'm genuinely astonished and impressed.
Thank you.
Did you buy those? Were they there when you moved in?
No, when we moved in, they were even louder. Can you believe it?
So that is subtle by comparison,
That is subtle. So we got rid of the old ones, and we got these new ones.
Okay.
And these are a bit lower than the other ones.
They're a bit lower, are they? Okay. Fine. Did they have a name in the shop when you bought them, or were they just
loud?
Loud. From loudcurtains.com. I think loudcurtains.com have done brilliantly with you.
Thank you very much.
And I'm guessing you've got family around you right now making the
I
noise.
have got an 8-year-old over there telling me to shut up.
What I love about that is there is a certain level of parenting, right, where at the very early days you get upset if you don't hear your children because you're thinking, oh my God, there must be something wrong. Then later on they talk to you and go, isn't it great that they're able to communicate? Then later on it's just basically they're annoying you, and now you've relegated them to the category of background noise. I love it as well. In someone's home right now, you could have a broken fridge, you could have an old Hoover, and you could have children, and they all roughly fall into the same category of annoyance.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect, excellent stuff. What do you do, Lucy?
Well, I'm really busy at the moment because I'm an event producer.
Oh, look at that then. Hey, welcome to the furlough sofa. How's that then?
Yeah, it's going well.
Those cushions every day, don't you?
Yeah, I'm very busy.
Very, very busy. Oh, right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Audiences who are jumping on have been absolutely lovely. So I hope you're going to enjoy the show. We're going to push on with our second act now. I worked with this lady many times, and she's done tons of online stuff as well, actually. And I've just loved what she's been doing. So again, like you were before, the people in the front row, and those of you watching on YouTube, if you do want to get involved, there are links both in the description and in the comments if you would like to be in our front row. And I will be nice to you. Of course, I'll be nice to you. You're all local to me, and I might bump into you in the shops. I can't genuinely make enemies here. It's just too negative for me. So all those people who can be seen in the front row, please some cheering and some applause as we welcome to the virtual stage the fabulous Jo Caulfield.
Woo! Go Jo, go Jo.
Hello. I realised, it starts when I start talking. That's how it works, isn't it? And this is quite weird to do a gig where it all seems like you're from this same place, Hurst Pierpoint. It's like doing, and we've even got the postman and the town planner. It's like a Zoom gig in Trumpton where we all know each other. And I am from very far away. Actually, I live in Edinburgh, so I'm doing my lockdown from Scotland, where actually we've been taking the virus quite seriously. Sort of a different approach to Westminster. The little judge comes out every single day and tells us what we've to do and how many people we can meet. But it is funny the way there's different rules up here. Like down south, you could until who know what the fuck happened today, right? But until yesterday, you could meet 6 people, and they could be any kind of 6 people. But in Scotland, you can meet 6 people, but they can only be from 2 households. So we're slightly stricter here because obviously the virus up here is Scottish, so it's more aggressive.
Glaswegian one.
No, honestly, when they did it on the news and they said, I think a couple of months ago, and they said you could meet people outside. But honest to God, when they said it on the news in Scotland and they went, and you can meet 12 people outside, I was like, oh, fuck, there's a fight. You know, that's how it sounds. And like a lot of people, I've got through it very well by becoming an alcoholic. I think that's helped enormously. And I'm almost nostalgic for the beginning because I didn't realize that, remember the 2 meter distance, that's my default setting. Loved it. I was like, finally, can we tell everyone, yeah, back off 2 meters. Great. And now I'm slightly worried because what I also loved about when the strict lockdown was a great excuse for not seeing people, wasn't it? A way of turning people down, going, oh, I'd really love to see you, but oh, the coronavirus, oh, we can't meet up. Now you've got fucking no excuse, have you? And my neighbours, they've asked us to come round to a thing. And I can't say no because they'll see me, won't they? They go, oh, she says she's got coronavirus, but apparently it looks like she's sitting in her garden drinking wine. Oh, I tell you, I don't want to go because me and my husband, we went to a thing at these people's before. And it's that thing, I think after a certain age, you've got to be very careful about calling something a party because it's not. Like we went round there and as soon as we walked in, we went, oh, it's not a party, is it? It's just adults holding wine, talking about car insurance. Oh, just tedious conversations. This man came up to me. I'd never even heard of this thing, told me all about a socket tower that he'd got from B&Q. It's really, really marvellous. Socket tower. Do you have a socket tower? Yeah, because you put all your sockets in the tower and it keeps all your cables really neat by the television. And then there's a woman here telling me how to make banana bread. I didn't fucking ask her how to make banana bread. You know what I mean? I'm just standing in the middle of them, kind of quietly open up a vein. Then socket man, whatever, socket tower, that was it. He came back again, started talking about cars. He's going on about, he drives a Range Rover. I think that was the main thing that he wanted me to know. And he's telling me about the Range Rover and how it's really worth it, you know, because it's such a solid drive and it's really worth getting the extras. It's a really, really good car. You know, it's worth the name. It's worth the money. So what do you drive? What do you drive? What are you driving in? What's your motor? I don't give a shit about cars, right? So I just went, it's blue. Blue. It's got a big dent in the front and scratches down the side because I just crashed into a Range Rover outside. And the other people that can be a nightmare, watch out for women about my age in a sparkly top when we've had a couple of wines. Like this woman comes up to me, she's like, oh, had a bit of Prosecco. I'm being so naughty. I am so naughty tonight. I am being naughty, having Prosecco. I'm like, it's sparkling wine. Do you know what I mean? It's not that naughty. Heroin in the eye. That's naughty, love. Oh, God. But also, there was because people lie, don't they? Go, oh, make yourself at home. But like, if you turn on the telly and order pizza, they don't like it, do they? This couple, they'd brought their little boy with him. He was about 3 and he wet himself. So they had to go home early, obviously. And I just saw the little boy waddling out. And as I was watching him, I thought, oh, you lucky bastard. Oh, I wish I'd thought of that. I would have done it as well. This woman there had a conversation. And it's funny, people always say this. She was telling me about somebody who'd had a baby. And she told me what the baby's called and how much it weighs. And people always do that, don't they? They tell you, they go, oh, she goes, it was Daniel, 8.5 pounds. Now, I don't know about you, but I never know what to do with the weight information.
Cook it.
I don't know quite why they've told me. And also, people don't mention weight again, do they? Like as an adult, or maybe when he's 1, you go, oh, how much does he weigh? And people go, oh, that's weird. She's asking how much he weighs. People never mention the weight again. Would you, like as an adult, you would never go, oh, have you met my wife, Jill? She's 9.5 stone. But the thing when you're if you're a couple and if you're at something together like that terrible party and you want to go home, I always think you've got to develop a good signal, haven't you, so you can tell each other across a room, like, you know, let's get the hell out of here. And my husband's got a really good one, right? What he does is he gets really drunk and insults everybody. Like, oh, I've got the signal. We're being asked to leave. And my mum is 80, so in lockdown, obviously, you know, I haven't seen her because she's 80, and you know, we've got nothing in common. She's 80. Well, what am I going to say? Like, oh, what have you been up to, Mum? Oh, nothing. You've got to stay in. Oh, that's a bit boring. I've been out loads. Great. Right. And I didn't miss shopping that much. And then when the shops opened, and I did go in the shops, and I thought, it's not the same. Do you know what I miss? I miss shoplifting. You can't do it now. Have you tried? You can't do it because it's all the staff are all really helpful and attentive, aren't they? They're all like, oh, have you not been to Zara since the lockdown? Oh, well, what you've got to do, you've got to follow these arrows, and we'll help you. Just fuck off and let me nick stuff. So, everyone's being far too friendly. I had it in the supermarket the other day. This woman at the checkout on the till, she was chatting away to everybody, and not only does she chat, this one, what she likes to do is she sort of likes to work out what you're doing with the shopping. Like she's got serving suggestions, or she'll say what she thinks you're going to make. And I had an aubergine. Now that excited her. Clearly she doesn't get many of them. So she was like, oh, aubergine, that's unusual, isn't it? An aubergine. Oh, tomato, potato, mint slab. Are you making a mazzarca? I was like, fuck me, Jessica Fletcher. I am making a mazzarca. What a nosy girl. So I thought, right. She likes to play a little game. I'll come in another day, spice it up for her. Bottle of gin, wire coat hanger. Oh, abortion is it tonight then, Spent too much time on Facebook, definitely, over lockdown. And getting annoyed. Like I get on there with a glass of wine and I just unfriend people constantly. Like one of my friends, she had one of those T-shirts. If you could be in anything in life, be kind. I was like, oh, fuck right off with that, isn't it? Not having that. And then I think I'm too sarcastic for it. That's what it is. Like my friend, she put up a picture of her son, Lucas. And it said, Lucas at his first Tiny Tots football game. And they've got like little sponge footballs and little nets. And there's Lucas in the photo trying to kick the ball, but quite clearly falling over at the same time. So I'd put him up for transfer. Looks a bit shit. I thought that was quite a funny thing to put, isn't it? I thought it was quite funny. And then I was excited. I thought, well, let me see what everyone else has put, you know. And then that was when I was like, oh, out of step with the mood here. Everyone else had put like really encouraging things like, oh, Lucas looks brilliant, bet he'll play for England one day. Like, are you looking at the same kid I'm looking at? Falling over. But the only way that kid's going to play for England if it's some sort of Make-A-Wish Foundation day out. I didn't put that, obviously. I have learned there is a limit to people's sense of humour on Facebook. And I've been doing lockdown with my husband in a traditional way, and that we're still together, although we are getting divorced, to be honest. No, I'm trying to keep the divorce quiet because I want it to be a surprise for his birthday. But he's a hypochondriac, you know. Obviously, he's had coronavirus 12 times now at least. Right? Oh, he's such a hypochondriac. Like, the other day, he comes in the kitchen and he goes, oh, I can smell toast. So for a laugh, I went, oh, that could be a sign you're having a stroke. Right. Before I know it, he's on his way to accident emergency, which is quite nice because then I could just sit down, enjoy the toast I've been making. Very irritating. And we had a row. This is a funny row to have. We're watching telly. It's funny, some shows actually, when you're watching, because you can go, oh, they clearly made this show before the pandemic. And we're watching location. And Kirsty's there going, well, this is, although it's a town, this is like the village area. And it's full of lovely independent coffee shops and little independent bars. And we were just both watching, well, they'll go to the fucking wall then, won't they? They're not going to be there after the pandemic. And then she's telling us about the schools. We're like, we don't care about the schools. Is there a local lockdown spike? Is that what there is? I find that show quite annoying. Right. Generally, it's the beginning, you know, when they do I'll sit down to relax and watch it. And then the beginning, the voiceover. And they'll be going, young couple, Greg and Sophie, have a budget of £850,000. Well, fuck off then. I realised you're all living in an area with very high prices, aren't you? Because I'm living in Scotland where houses are £5. I was going to tell you about the argument we had. Yeah, so we're watching the One show, right, by accident. Obviously, we didn't mean to watch it. We just didn't turn it over in time. And it's such a pile of shite, isn't it? And so they're on their usual, you know, some kind of trivial nonsense. And they were interviewing some actress, right? And she was remotely at home because of COVID. And they were asking her, I remember they were saying to her, oh, how are you coping? I'm like, I can see how she's coping. I can see a fucking swimming pool in the background. I think she's fine, right? And now I don't know who the actress was. She looked like she could have been in Hollyoaks because she had that look, you know, that Hollyoaks look where it looks like they've gone up to the MAC makeup counter and they've gone, oh, could I have everything? And she had these big eyebrows and that. And they were saying how great she looked and that. And then my husband just goes, I don't think she's that attractive. So obviously I was quite pleased. I was like, yeah, good for you, because I don't think she looks attractive. I think it's ridiculous, that look, all that shading and all that weird makeup. No, I don't like it. And he went, no. And then he goes, yeah, I prefer a plainer looking woman. What? What an idiot. Did not have the sense to stop talking. And he went, yeah, I prefer a woman with faults and imperfections. I'm right here. Right. So then obviously this escalated into a row, and he said to me, well, okay, then on a scale of 1 to 10, how attractive do you think I am? So I was like, I don't know, 6.5. That's not a good answer. He was really upset about it. I thought, you're upset, I'm the one who's got to fucking look at you. People recently. Let's see what you think of this. Like my neighbour, I've been doing a lot of online shopping. I took a parcel in for her, and then I brought it round, and I took it into her hallway, carried it in for her. And on her hallway, she's got a shelf there with some photos, one of which is of her dog that died like 2 years ago. And just as I brought in the parcel, I knocked it over and it smashed on the ground. So obviously I apologized because, you know, I'm embarrassed and I felt really bad. And I said, oh, I'm really, really sorry. I will replace the frame. And then I thought she like really overreacted. You know, when someone you go, I think you're too angry about this, because she goes, well, it's not about the frame, is it? It's about the photo. And I went, yeah, but the photo's fine. If I get you a new frame, that will be good as new. And again, she just stared at me. She goes, I can't believe that you did that. Like I'd done it on purpose or something. I thought, well, I didn't do it on purpose. I've apologized. I'm going to get you a new frame. What more do you want me to do? And then she's still mad at me. And she goes, well, you would never understand because you're not a dog owner. So I said, well, nor are you. Thank you. Not wrong, am I? Not wrong. I'm just going to, I'll leave you with this. This is quite a fun thing to do, especially for couples. Like if you need a bit of space in lockdown, this is quite a fun thing to do. If it's my husband, if it's his turn to do the shop, what I do is I give him a list, right? But I put some things on the list that don't actually exist. Just to keep my house. I'll give you one for nothing, right? Sweet and sour shoe polish. 2 hours he was gone. I didn't look to see what time I came on, so I'm not sure what time it is. I don't even have a watch on. I've looked at a hairband.
You're good. You're good, Joe.
What?
You're good. You've hit your time. Anything. This is unpaid overtime. You keep going, love, if you want to.
Well, I'll tell you one more fun thing, right? Okay. Because we've all got a bit more time. So you know the cold calling, and those people who phone up to ask if you've been in an accident, a car accident, and you can usually tell because I could see it a couple of times. Same number came up, and I thought, I don't know anybody who lives there. That is not a number I know. I bet it's one of those cold calls. So I thought, well, I've got time. Let's chat. So it's a woman, and I was right. And she went, oh, I'm just calling because we believe you've been in an accident recently. So I went, yes, I have been in an accident, which surprised her because not many people actually say that. So then she goes, well, if you did you suffer whiplash? Because you might be able to make a claim. So I went, no, I didn't get whiplash. I died. In fact, this is really weird because I didn't think my mobile phone would work up here. I can't really make a claim. Oh, I've got to go. David Bowie wants to play tennis with me. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've really got to go now. Michael Jackson's trying to get near the kiddies' pool again. All right, people. Keep safe, keep surviving, keep cheerful. Thank you very much for listening.
Joe Caulfield, everybody. Joe Caulfield, thank you so much, Joe, joining us from Edinburgh, where they have completely different rules on being happy. But no, anyway, so it was good to have Joe there, and we've barreled through already. So I'm not going to do a huge amount more now. Actually, I'm going to say a quick hello to Darren, who I haven't had a chance to say hello to yet. Where's Darren?
Hello.
Darren, you've been laughing along beautifully. Thank you very much.
I'm loving it.
Cheers for joining us. I'm looking at your. I'm kind of a little bit concerned because I've been looking at your shelf behind you, and it might just be an optical illusion. But is the stuff on the middle shelf slightly tipped over the shelf and it looks like it might fall off? Is that a box set that's actually hanging over the edge of it?
It's sadder than that. It is actually a set of dictionaries.
It's a set of dictionaries. Boom. Oh my God. Well, when you got the memo telling you to keep your drugs out of the way, you didn't get those bad boys out of the view, did you, Darren? That's
I'll tell you what I did move out of the way was 3 boxes of tissues. I thought,
3 boxes of tissues.
Pick up on that.
3 boxes of tissues by your computer,
just how much
Darren.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I don't know what to call you, but you've got the dictionaries to look it up. That's the key thing. So amazing. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, probably a good point for me to move on to our next and final act, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for an absolute treat here because we've been going further and further each time. Obviously, I'm broadcasting you from a distance where realistically, had I just hung out my window, about half of you could see me. Then we went all the way over to southwest London. Then we went further on to Edinburgh. And I believe we're about to cross the pond. Is Chris Turner there right now? I'll say a quick hello to Chris. Where is Chris?
Hey, I'm here.
Hello, Chris. Hello, mate. Yeah. So, Chris, are you still in America right now?
I am. I'm in Colorado. I'm 8,000 feet up in the Rocky Mountains.
Fabulous. So, have you got slight altitude sickness right now?
It's horrible. It feels like a hangover. It passes after a few days, but the main problem here is there's less oxygen. So when I'm performing, I run out of breath way more.
Oh, right. Oh, crumbs. Okay. Well, so I'm doing a live performance for us now, but more importantly, not keeling over, will be Chris Turner. Now, Chris, do you need to set this up? Is there anything you need to ask people? Shall I leave this to you?
Oh, yeah. I'll ask them myself. I'll do it.
Okay, fine. Well, in that case, then, you deserve a rousing round of applause. One of my favourite acts to work with on the internet. You're in for an absolute treat, Hurst. I'm so pleased we managed to get Chris to do this. Like I said, live over from the US right now. Please can we all cheer and clap for the brilliant Chris Turner?
Yay! It's me. Thank you very much. What a lovely welcome. Hi, I'm Chris. I am a rapper. I have to say that right away because no one believes it. Yeah, I do freestyle rap, which is rap made up on the spot based entirely on your suggestions. So what I'm going to need you guys to do in a moment is give me some suggestions for what you'd like to hear a rap about. Before we get into that, I'll just kind of give you my background. I started listening to hip hop when I was 12 years old. I got the Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem. Some of you guys might know him by his Roman name, Thousand and Thousand. And well done, by the way. That's a gangster Roman numeral joke. Not a lot of comedians do gangster Roman numeral jokes. I is one. Got that one. You're very clever. But I started rapping when I was 12. I was listening to Eminem, Dr. Dre, although again I was 12, so I thought it was pronounced Dr. E. And my mum heard the lyrics and she's like, Christopher, like, this is not nice music, because like my music taste changed. Obviously, when I was like 7 years old, I had a real obsession with Posh Spice, which cost my mum like a fortune in saffron. But well, again, you're such a posh crowd that goes down well. Every other gig, they're like, we use turmeric. Yeah, that's why you're paying shit. But here, I'm listening to hip hop, and it's all about guns and bitches and bling, and I love it because, like, you know, like I like bitches, I like bling, I like women, I like money, I like my women, like my money, legal, tender, way. So my mum said, Christopher, just don't. This music is making you a worse person. What she said exactly, the violent, misogynistic lyrics and imagery are making you a worse person. So I told her to shut her cracker ass mouth, because what I wanted to do, I did kind of follow her rules, which was try not to rap about stereotypical stuff. So rather than rapping about drugs and violence, which I had no part in, I started rapping about random stuff. So that's what I want to ask you guys to help me with now. Think of a word, a topic, or a phrase you'd like to hear a rap about. There are 3 rules. Number 1, no food. People always suggest food. It's boring. Number 2, no animals. Similar reasons. People just say dog, cat is tedious. Number 3, don't be too obvious. Don't say coronavirus. Don't say the Trump. You know, everyone's saying these suggestions. I don't want to take the same suggestion twice. That's not fun. The best suggestion I've had in the last 12 months was a German man who said a day in the life of an Aztec high priest. That was good. You can aim for that kind of weirdness if you wish. So we'll get 5 suggestions. I'm holding a pen, but I'll write them down on my phone so we don't forget. And then I'll do a rap about them for you. So I'm going to go into gallery mode so I can see you all. If you have a suggestion, give me a little wave. Oh, Aunt Jess Sally is giving me a suggestion. So, and then we'll come to Emma afterwards. So yeah, what would you like a rap about?
I'd like a rap about Novichok cocktails, please.
Oh, very good. Very good. For those of you that don't know, it's the nerve agent that the Russians allegedly / definitely use. And many other dissidents in the past. Emma, you were waving as well. Hello, and thank you for that Novichok cocktail one. Emma, what do you want to rap about?
Can you rap about online dating?
I can. What specific platform or what specific aspect of online dating?
Oh God, just anything really. Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish. Okay. Plenty of fish. Have you recently online dated or were you before?
I have done it. I have done it. Not recently though.
Did it prove successful?
No.
No, I was going to say, you're coming from just a very dark, spinster-like room. So evidently...
Oh no, the light behind's blinding. I turned it off.
Well, you should never backlight yourself. You should always massively overexpose yourself in the front like I'm doing. I'm not this white and pasty in real life. Let's get 3 more suggestions. Darren, hello Darren. What would you like to rap about?
Can you get cat litter into it? Because that seems to be all that's next to me.
Oh wow, cat litter. How fresh is that cat litter, Darren?
Well, it smelt better, but if we had a cat, it'd be even worse, wouldn't it? But there you go. Oh, we've frozen, I think.
That's done him in. That's done him in.
The cat
concept of cat.
He thought cat litter. Can't do that.
And online dating.
Can't doing that.
Okay, Chris has crashed. If you're asking me to rap in his place, that absolutely won't be happening. Wow. Never could a internet failure come at a time more worrying to me, to be honest with you. I probably could have chipped in with Maff's jokes. I've heard them recently. I've given Joe's a bit of a bash. I don't think I would have done them as well as her. But as for rapping for the suggestions that Chris is doing right now, find that highly unlikely. David, is Chris actually dropped altogether? Is he gone?
He might come back.
Should do.
That's such bad suggestions.
Right. Okay. Well, has everybody had a lovely day? Right. If you're curious, what I found so far online was people's suggestions. Grace Jago asked, try rapping out Radiator. So I'm going to suggest those to Chris when he reappears. Graham McMillan went for the concept of ambient Lego. Okay, I don't even know what ambient Lego is. And then Darren Wood, who's a friend of mine, put Stephen's cycling injuries. I know who was talking about cycling earlier on. Who was that? That was Ant, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you know about my cycling injury, Ant?
Yes, I also know when you cycle past me and I'm on a run, you never bloody wave when I go, Stephen.
Really?
Yeah, you
sorry.
just ignore me.
You were that nutcase.
Yes.
Oh, right.
I raced after you.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, thanks very much for saying hello. Oh my God.
You had your full white socks on up to your knees, looking very pro.
I wear white just to kind of, well, it's mostly so I can be seen by the other vehicles, so I don't die, to be honest with you.
Very white.
I'm my cycling injuries. If people who don't know about it, I fell off a bike into a pothole 3 years ago and smashed up my collarbone. I can't lift this arm particularly highly anymore now as well. It's all kind of a metal plate there, and I got quite a big scar from my neck all the way down to here. But every day I looked at it, I always felt a little bit depressed, thinking, oh dear, I can't believe what I did that to myself. So to cheer myself up, I got my first ever tattoo in my 40s, and that's of me. And so that's me going down the hill, coming off that, and that scar is the hill, you see. So there's me flying off my bicycle.
Where was
just in
the
case
accident? Where
anyone's curious. That's the rule from now. I can only have a tattoo done in the event of it being a major accident.
Was that down College
Has Chris
Lane?
reappeared yet, David? This is slightly worrying. I'm just going to check my chat to see if Chris has reappeared. I don't know if he's actually had a major internet outage. I'll check my phone because he's got the ability to actually send me a text message as well. See if that's appeared. Let's have a quick look. Oh, quite a lot of no sign of Chris whatsoever. Good. Well, I will keep chatting until he reappears, because that should happen at some point, I imagine. Anyway. By the way, if anyone's ever had a major injury, apart from saying that I recommend getting a tattoo of it, though to be fair, my other major injury was taking a baking hot frittata out of an oven without wearing oven gloves and really seriously burning my hand, and I thought it would leave a scar on my palm. And the idea of having a tattoo of someone cooking a frittata was probably not quite as showbiz as falling off a bicycle. So I can't say that was exactly the same. What I was going to say, other people's suggestions. Here we go. Mike Martel, a day in the life of a Russian Algarve. Do they mean Algarve? I don't think they mean an Algarve, do they? That's a part of Portugal, do they? I think they mean oligarch, don't they? Yeah.
Avocado.
Someone spelled oligarch as Algarve, which is
avocado.
Avocado. A day in the life of a Russian avocado would be incredible. That's fabulous. Graham McMillan has just said Chris has logged off in disgust. It's possible. You're never entirely sure. He was actually joining us from the US. There is that point as well. And Darren has said, "Oh, clothes to match the colour of the ambulance." Oh, that I would be wearing that. When I was wearing white socks, I have to say that one of the things about having a major injury was I didn't realise just how good painkillers are. I don't know if anyone has ever had to be put on prescription painkillers, but they are incredible. For years, I used to hear about showbiz people being addicted to painkillers, and I always thought to myself, well, get a proper drug dealer, honestly. And then I had the painkillers they gave me. I couldn't believe how good they needed to be good because I was in agony. But I think the only reason people don't take them more is there isn't a drug culture to go with painkillers. Like if you really like smoking dope, you'll go to a music festival. If you really like taking ecstasy, you'll go to a rave. If you really like taking cocaine, you'll open an estate agents or something. But I mean, for some reason, I think painkillers just don't seem to have the buzz to go with it, do they? It's like there's someone saying, "Hey guys, I'm taking loads of Preservex. You want to come round? We're watching Only Connect. Won't give you a headache. Watch what's happening. Oh guys, I'm on codeine. I'm off for a shit. Hold my hand." Anyway, I'm genuinely thinking we've lost Chris full stop here, David. Yeah, no one's reappeared in the waiting room right now. Then we've got no Chris whatsoever.
Did someone call down a fake CIA hit on him?
I'm just curious because he's in Colorado. I'm fairly sure the Americans actually have internet. I mean, by the way, guys, if we do actually have to, because I know the fact that Chris was having to disappear by 9:15, and so he's kind of running out of time with which to do this. If he does come back, if it is the case that he can't do this, we'll do our very best to just do an add-on evening, by the way. And that isn't his modus operandi. He doesn't get your suggestions for a rap, go off for 2 weeks and write it and come back. He genuinely does improvise it at the time. With more time passing, I think you're becoming more suspicious as the fact that he doesn't actually do this. But I've worked with him for many years, and he has definitely done that. I'm curious as well, looking around now, because Lucy has disappeared and has taken off her. Oh, she's actually taken off her video. Is that her backdrop of a light? Lucy Bennett, is that the case? I'm looking right now. Is that back? Oh no, she's reappeared now. Oh,
Yeah,
right. I see. Okay, fair enough. Oh my God, she's now leaning with those curtains. I'm just
Yeah, sorry, I'm still here, but I'm just worried about the interaction with the kids. So I'm just like keeping it low.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. And also,
Okay.
we've got to watch out. This is the problem with doing online comedies, that when we swear, sometimes I see a child wander up around the back, and I'm like, ooh.
Exactly.
So it's like, also, there is a thing about doing. Oh yes, well, oh no, hang on. Who we got next to Ant? Let's say hello to Ant. Who have got with Ant there? Who's that?
I'm Jess.
This is
Hello.
Jess.
Hi, Jess. How old are you, Jess?
I'm 13.
You're 13. You see, I'm kind of, but there's a little part of me that says I shouldn't be too worried about what I say, because there's nothing I can say that you haven't watched on YouTube while your dad wasn't there. Is that right?
That's probably right.
That's probably right. And I'm hoping that is your dad as well. Otherwise, that is it's so inopportune right now. That shouldn't be happening. That's fine. That is definitely your dad, isn't it? And you put Aunt Jess and Sally. Where is Jess?
But I'm Jess.
This is
Hello.
Jess.
You are Jess. So where's Sally then?
Sally's actually in the toilet for Royston Vasey.
Oh, I see. Right, she's reappeared. Hello.
The local
Hello.
shop.
Oh yeah. Because you see, there's a problem, Ant. I guess Ant, you're an Anthony, aren't you?
Yes.
Right, and when you got together with Sally, you can't really be Aunt Sally, because that's a character on Wurzel Gummidge, isn't it? So you've had to have put Jess in the middle there. You can't put Aunt Sally Jess, So this is and the thing is, I've now got to explain to Jess what Wurzel Gummidge is.
I don't know what it is. Can you please explain?
You've YouTubed it, have you?
No.
Have you any idea what Wurzel Gummidge is?
No.
Right, okay, right. So basically, anybody over the age of 40, their only choice of entertainment as a child wasn't YouTube or anything like that. They had to watch children's television, which is where a group of white men in their mid-50s decided what children should be entertained by. And what we should be entertained by was an animated scarecrow.
That's quite scary.
And also a sacked Doctor Who.
A sacked Doctor Who?
Yeah, John Pertwee was sacked Doctor Who.
Why was he sacked? Sorry, you've lost me there.
Well, he got replaced by another Doctor Who, didn't he?
Well, that's the way the Doctor works. He kind of he rebirths every time.
killed
And he
him.
gets kind of the idea was he's supposed to get younger every time, but after 6 Doctors, they realised that by the time they'd finished the series, they'd have to have a fetus. So they kind of changed that and went the other way. So anyway, I'm beginning to wonder if Chris is going to reappear. I have not seen Chris. I do apologise, people of Hurst. It's ironic, really, because if I thought anybody was going to have a major outage, it would be people in the BN6 area for whom, let's be brutally honest, you head out to Sayers Common, the idea of broadband internet is borderline witchcraft. So to think that it would be someone in Colorado right now seems incredibly unlikely. I'm just going to go and check my phone and just see whether there are any messages anyway. I'm going to see whether, well, the only number I think I've got for him is an online one, but I will do my very best. I've just been asked by the organizer if I could ring him. I think she's forgotten the fact that I'm actually in the middle of entertaining people right now, but I'll do my very best to call him right now. It says last seen online at 8:17 p.m. So are you okay? And the weirdest thing about this, I don't really want to make a joke, because today, genuinely in Hassocks, I went into the local Sainsbury's because I'm living it, but obviously due to lockdown, I used to be in Budgeons. I've had to bring it down ever so slightly, and someone had collapsed in there. They said, we think he's had a heart attack, and I had to leave again, and it just looked like he was having a kip. I just thought I just probably shouldn't make the joke in case it was a heart attack, but thankfully, according to the Hassocks Facebook page, he wasn't a heart attack and he's fine now, which makes this joke okay to make. So I've just sent a message to Chris Turner, and it's on WhatsApp, and it's only gone a 1 tick, not even 2 ticks. So I'm slightly worried there might have been an earthquake, so I'm just going to Google major catastrophes in Colorado to see if any of those things have actually happened right now. God, do you know what? Actually, I apologise very much. How many people? We've got 41 people watching live online right now, so and we've got people in the Zoom call. So I'll do, So I will keep battling on for about the next 5-10 minutes, and then in which case, if he's not here, we will organise a moment where Chris can come back and entertain us in a kind of a sort of like a cliffhanger type PS type situation. Though I will now actually try to ring him, because now I'm making jokes about how he's doing. I'm beginning to worry that he's no. I've been just the organisers just said to me that we can do this another week.
Tell us his number. We can ring him for you.
I've got his number actually. I was about to read it out right then, and I suddenly realised that. Just going to put him on hands free.
01.
Hang on. Well, it'll be 001.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris. Oh, hello, Chris. Can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
He thinks he's just got the internet back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, okay. I'm you on hands-free. Okay, marvellous. He's going to do a little bit of work and he might be joining us shortly. Bye, Chris.
Hey.
He said give him 90 seconds. Okay, then. So who wants a 60-second routine?
Me.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Just
right. So I blew up my telly many, many years ago. I threw a shoe at it, which I shouldn't have done. And then I had to go back from a widescreen telly to a normal width telly. Again, and you will have to explain to your daughter what a normal screen telly is as well. But the thing about it is if anyone's ever had to use a normal width telly for any reason and plugged it in, you'll realise it doesn't resize it anymore. It chops the picture off at the sides. So you're watching films, you can hear voices, but you can't see faces. You're like, oh, ghost, that's worth it. Game shows, they're tough. You try making a conundrum out of 7 letters, it's fucking difficult. Yeah, that's when you're watching. Countdown or Outdow as it appears on my screen. What else do you get? Yeah, Astender, Oronation Street, a celebrity getting me out of her. In fact, I watched a program on the Discovery Channel called Canal Adventures. Now with the letters lopped off either side, it looked like being a lot more fun. I mean, there was paddling, just not the kind I was expecting. And that is a 60-second routine, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome back Chris Turner.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh, guys. So I'm going to give you the excuse, which is we're in the Rocky Mountains and the internet went out. But the truth is I do that before all my raps so I can call Dr. Dre and be like, hey, can you rap me a rap? My dating cat litter. Right. Let's hope this holds up. Let's get 2 more suggestions. We're going to push it, you know. Lesser rappers would say, let's just do a quick rap now. But you've waited and I want to give you the full thing. So 2 more topics that you want to rap about. Let's flick it into gallery so I can see. Matthew, hello there. The most laconic wave ever. Just, I'm laid back like Marlon Brando in The Godfather. Yeah, suggestion. What's it going to be?
Rap about AirPods.
Rap about AirPods, as in the Apple things that go in your ears. Yeah, cool. I would take mine out to show you, but they would then connect via Bluetooth to the computer and ruin the sound. So Apple AirPods. Amazing. One final suggestion. Let's make this the best one. Who's it going to come from? You lovely patient people.
Sleep deprivation. Screaming baby. Yeah.
Oh, did you say it was a screaming baby?
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Great. Sleep deprivation from screaming babies. Yes. Amazing. That's all I need. And you have been so patient and so wonderful. And I'm sure Stephen did an excellent job. And on the bright side, you got extra Stephen Grant material, which is a delight. So this is going to be a wrap. Like I said, made up on the spot about Novichok cocktails, online dating and plenty of fish, cat litter, Apple AirPods, and sleep deprivation from screaming babies. Don't worry, it isn't going to be anywhere near as atrociously, embarrassingly bad as you're expecting a privately educated middle-class white boy to be. You can hear that beat? Cool. I'm visiting the Kremlin, yes, I'm in the lot. I get a shock, why a whole bottle of Novichok? I knock it down, you know my heart fails. It stops because it's hit by the Novichok cocktail. The Daily Mail releases a report. Alexander Mielny, yes, he was taught a lesson in being in the opposition and out of his body, put in the position in the bed in the ward in Germany. You gotta get an umbrella and set them free from the mortal coil. You put the tip upon the end. Technically, that's polonium, the new trend, not stabbing people in the ankle. Get a little granule of Novichok, a sample. You don't need ample, you just put it there in the water. A lesson to you, it was taught that, we disavow any knowledge of the poison scheme. I'm online since I was a teen trying to date, but I always was frustrated. I went there to the meeting, my face hid behind a mask, cause I didn't want the lady to see, but then plenty of fish filled me with glee. Actually, successes when I post a picture of me, the girls with long tresses like 10 out of 3, and I see, wait, that fraction doesn't fit, but plenty of fish, the ladies are pretty fit, and the men too. Don't mean to offend you, you're so gorgeous, like God sent you. Online dating, not really happening recently. You're on Tinder with a finger trying to see, swipe, swipe, swipe. You're really hot, but you can't come round to my house a lot. You gotta stay locked down there in the shitter What does a cat do in the cat litter? Literally right there. I don't just boil it a handful of sand, call that a pussy toilet, a feline. Gotta clean it out every day. Careful that the walls are high, you don't spray over the edge. And let me see, I stayed in New York at an Airbnb, and the guy was great. I won't disavow that, but he had an 18-year-old diabetic cat. It used to piss on the floor by the litter tray. What you doing, cat? Aim the proper way. It always stank. You'd have to use the spray. I still gave him 5 stars anyway. Cause hey, I'm not gonna be the guy who's odd. Let me tune in Bluetooth with the AirPods. Again, I'm gonna show you mine. They're in my pocket, keep them with me like all of the time. But if I take them out, the connection will go. They're not just AirPods, they're AirPods Pro in a fancy blue case. Rubber to the touch. I like the Apple technology very much, even though it's made by slaves in the factory of Foxconn committing the suicide. They were there and then gone, but still great audio quality. Noise cancelling. You should see the babies. I put them in my ear when they're screaming. Let me get the sleep when my baby's not dreaming. It's awake like wow, wow. Loud like the ilk. All the other toddlers, they're screaming for milk. And I'm just there. Whip it out, no hesitation. And feed the little baby milk. Sleep deprivation is happening to me. I've got to take a little bit of Benadryl. That's a tiny little pill. Make you drowsy. Or maybe got a bottle of wine. Pinot Noir, you know it's mummy time. I drink it down and it drowns out the screaming of the kid. If I'm on a plane, I'm dreaming what I did. I'm like, how loud can you get? And put it there asleep in the bassinet. There we go. That's that.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. Guys, thank you so much for your patience. That's, you know, I love doing like essentially an 18-minute set where for 12 minutes of it I'm not actually performing. It's great. So really,
yeah, I'm trying to imagine it in the live world where that would happen. I imagine that would be like an aneurysm or like a kind of a heart tremor or just
a
like,
little mini
maybe a stomach upset.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for sticking it out and for those wonderful suggestions. They were lovely, and you've been a delight and a pleasure.
Well, look, I do appreciate joining us from across the Atlantic, where it's kind of, I would say Colorado, hiding from the corona halfway up a mountain. So can we have it one more time, please? An applause for the fabulous Chris Turner. Thank you very much. And listen, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the show. This, I think, will still be available on YouTube, and Catherine will tell me one way or the other, but it'll appear on the chat. And it's excellent. If you like Chris's stuff, then do look him up on YouTube. He's got loads of stuff with him doing live raps, people's suggestions. If you've enjoyed the show as well, hurstfestival.org/box-office/donate. Also, if you want to donate towards that's towards the festival. If you want to donate towards the comedians, that's me. So that's paypal.me/SG Comedy. I probably should have brought it up on the screen, shouldn't I? Something like that, but I haven't now, so you have to try and remember it. I'll put it in the YouTube chat window. I'm kind of, it's fine. Okay, everyone's run out of money now. It's 6 months now, unless you're still being furloughed, in which case, quid's in. Hey, long time holiday. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, everybody from Hurst Comedy who's made this possible. They've got great stuff coming up, streaming live as well, and hopefully in 2021 I will be back in the village centre, actually doing a proper show with proper people, and you guys will all turn up, and we'll all be in our kind of Perspex hazmat suits, which is kind of tough for comedy. But imagine what it's like for the dogging community. It's pretty tricky, I imagine. That's absolutely. You know, one of them outside the car, one of them inside the car. It's barely worth bothering, I imagine.
So just explain that a bit more.
Sorry, what?
Jessica would just like you to explain that a bit more.
Jess would like to explain what the dogging community involves. Excellent stuff. Well, it's just people who like walking their dogs. And if you go to the Facebook site Hassocks and Hurst Reality, you'll see a lot of them discussing how quite now they're destroying the countryside because they don't clean up after themselves. And again, I am talking about people who walk dogs. So that hopefully will explain it. I don't want to do your parenting for you, Ant, to be brutally honest. I just thought I would just sort of chip in and help out. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, David, for all of our teching as well. And then Kate and Catherine, everybody at Hurst Festival, and Danielle, who made the YouTube sort of stream possible. And do keep tuning into the rest of the stuff. It's you guys and your support is the reason why it keeps going. And so we want to be able to do it again next year. And so before you disappear, I just thought I'd like to say one more time, paypal.me/SG Comedy. That's right. Because, while Ant is explaining to his children what dogging is, I'm explaining to mine why only one of them can have shoes. So paypal.me/SG Comedy. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.